Welcome back to the Tomorrow Money Show, everybody. Your go-to podcast for understanding Bitcoin, crypto, and the future of digital finance in Zimbabwe and around the world. I am your host, Munyaradzi Togarepi. In my last episode, I talked about the new legal framework in Zimbabwe that is providing regulatory clarity to crypto in Zimbabwe through the Finance Act of 2025. Today, I want to talk about how the new laws regulate or can be interpreted to regulate tokenization and what a person or a company must do to be compliant when engaging in tokenization activities. In Zimbabwe, what is tokenization? The legal and conceptual overview of it. In legal and technical terms, tokenization refers to the process of converting rights in a real-world asset such as equity, debt, real estate, commodities, or revenue streams into digital tokens recorded on a distributed ledger, the blockchain. Tokenization can unlock liquidity, fractional ownership, and programmable rights, but it also blurs the line between traditional financial instruments and digital assets. That means regulators take a close interest in how these tokens behave and whether they are subject to securities, investment, or other regulatory regimes. In Zimbabwe, the new Finance Act amendments specifically regulate virtual assets and virtual tokens, including asset tokens and initial token offerings. And this is the first time. This creates the foundational legal definitions needed to regulate tokenization via an existing regulatory authority, the Securities and Exchange Commission of Zimbabwe. Under the new law, virtual assets are defined explicitly and now include digital tokens. Asset tokens, that is, tokens backed by or deriving value from an underlying asset, are defined as a category of virtual assets. Initial token offerings, ITOs, are defined as a process where virtual tokens are offered, for example, to raise capital. And virtual asset service providers, VASPs, and token issuers are now subject to licensing, supervision, and compliance requirements. This means tokenization projects fall within the virtual assets regulatory regime and are not free from oversight just because they involve blockchain technology. If you or your company plan to issue tokenized assets in Zimbabwe, here is an ordered, practical compliance roadmap. Step 1. Determine the legal nature of the token. Before you do anything else, classify the token. Is it a pure utility token providing access to a software feature? Is it an asset token representing real-world assets, equity rights, revenue shares, or debt? Could it be classified as a security token under existing security laws? If the token is economically akin to a security, as is often the case with tokenized equity or bonds, then it may trigger full securities regulations, not just virtual assets licensing. Step number 2, engage with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Submit a formal licensing application to them. Your application will include things like corporate registration and incorporation documents, a detailed white paper describing the token, the underlying asset, rights, and obligations of token holders, governance mechanisms, and technical specifics. Illegal opinion on whether the token is a security and if prospectus requirements apply. AML CFT compliance framework and custody and investor protection safeguards and so on. Step number 3, develop robust AML and custody infrastructure. In line with the global best practices, your token issuance and trading platform must implement Know Your Customer, KYC, and anti-money laundering, AML procedures, right? Step number 4, Prepare disclosure documentation. Unlike traditional ICOs without regulatory oversight, issuing asset tokens under a regulated regime typically requires a white paper or a disclosure document with material risk information. If the token qualifies as a security token, additional prospectus requirements may apply, which mirrors how securities law works in other jurisdictions. Step number 5, establish governance and local substance. Regulators will assess whether your project exhibits adequate corporate governance, board or manager competence, and decision making must be done in Zimbabwe. Step number 6, ongoing compliance and reporting. Once licensed, you will be subject to periodic reporting to the SEC and regular audits. And that's it. You are all set for tokenization in Zimbabwe. That wraps up this episode of the Tomorrow Money Show on tokenization and regulatory compliance. If you are planning a tokenization project in Zimbabwe, I suggest you start with your legal and compliance discussions today, not after the code is written. And please feel free to contact me for any technical assistance. Please note that this channel does not at all provide legal advice. This has been the Tomorrow Money Show. Until next time, keep building, keep learning, and keep shaping the future of money right here in Zimbabwe. Thank you.